What up? This is gonna be a redo of my Know Thyself ramble from the other day. I was at the beach. As you could see from the other video if you had seen it. But again, who am I really talking to? It only got like 2 views. And one of them was me. So I mean, a lot of these videos of me talking about my spiritual path, I'm not gonna lie, they don't really get the views that I would hope for. Like they just don't quite reach the people that I would like. Because it's ironic because I've built my channel, or I've developed I've created my channel, this channel specifically to kind of talk about consciousness and the spiritual journey that I've been in my life. And ironically, what catches the most views are the videos that I don't really like prioritize as much for the sake of the channel, if that makes sense. Like the fitness videos, I do prioritize fitness though. That is something that I really that I'm serious about and that I really take seriously in my life because it's for my health. But other than that, videos of me like being in nature, being by the lake, walking on the trail or riding my bike and like touching butterflies and shit, like that's what I notice catches views. Or me having like ice cream and me making goofy faces about it. Like it's funny. The really mundane and really simple stuff are what catches the views. But when I want to like talk about more serious things that's on my mind and express myself as a treating the video as like some form of journaling, and I do journal, so those don't get as much views, which is ironically what the channel was for. But if I go outside and I record a dog barking and shit with their owner, barking at another dog while they're walking across each other in the same path in the sidewalk, that gets like 300 views in like 2 minutes, in like 10 minutes. But like my videos of me rambling don't get that much views. It's like it'll catch like 10 views in like 10 days. So that's like 1 view per day, maybe. And that's even pushing it to be lucky. But that's me complaining. That's how I feel. But that's not all the time. I've had other videos where I did get a lot of views for what I talk about. Especially videos where I did when I talked about manifesting, like my manifesting videos. I noticed that those caught a lot of views. But nonetheless, I just hope whatever I talk about someone can understand. But I'm redoing this video because unfortunately the video at the beach ended up catching too much noise. So that's why I have to kind of redo this one. And the thing for me is, as I said in many other videos, and including that recent one where I was at the beach talking, like I just feel like I've talked about all the things that I have needed to for the most part in my current life and my spiritual journey. So there hasn't been much for me to really say unless I absolutely feel like I do have something to say. Then I make a video. If I feel like there's something that I feel is worthy of expressing and sharing, then I do make a video about it and I talk about it. But otherwise, like I just don't. I feel like I've covered a lot of what I had felt like I needed to over the years, and I have stopped making videos. As you guys can also see, I've just been doing it through the shorts, which is very fun for me too. It's a lot easier, and it kind of gets the point across. So that's one thing I like about the shorts. So I've been doing that lately, and I've just, like I said before, also I've had things going on in my life the past few years for me and my family that we've all been going through, personal things, and it just hasn't been the time for me to make like fuller length videos of me talking about stuff. But as I said, when I feel like I have something to say, I do. So this is me redoing that video. And again, I also like knowing myself, since this is a know thyself ramble, I don't always feel like I have the best energy to talk. Like I don't always have it in me to just talk about stuff. Like sometimes I can even have like a really good idea, but I like don't have it in me to like make a video and record and talk for some reason. I just don't. And today that's one of those, and today is that day. Like I don't feel like making a video. I don't feel like talking. I don't feel like doing this, but I'm pushing myself for the sake of my own spiritual discipline so that I can learn more about what I'm capable of. And since life is just a journey anyway, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to learn, and if I can share this with other people and they can get something out of it, then that's great. Then I've done my part. Then I've done my part already. So that's what I'm here to do. And I really had to push myself like the past half hour or so doing this. I've had these two here for a long time already. I set them here, and this was my intention to have the Buddha and number 3 right here, because this is gonna symbolize something regarding like the video. This is their symbology of what today's video is about, of what I'm talking about. But what was I gonna say? I had to push myself to like even make this video to talk, because the other day when I was at the beach, that's when I had more energy. That's when I was feeling good, and ironically, I was hit with the unexpected flaw of the video not going how I wanted it to go, because I played it back and I watched some of it, and it turns out through like majority of the video I can't even hear myself. So neither could you. I mean, I doubt you could hardly hear my voice in that video. It was just the wind doing that, and I'm in the background talking like that. Like you can barely hear me, and I had a lot to say too. It was a damn near a 30-minute like video and shit, and majority of it was caught by the wind. Like I'm like, god damn it. And it disappointed me, because that's when I had a lot of fluidity in my voice. That's when I had a lot to say, and the energy was right. So I was disappointed at that, and I thought, god damn it, I have to do this video over again. But like I said, it's hard for me to do that, because I have to gather that energy for myself to give myself that push to like do another talking video like this. I have to prepare my mind, what I have to say. I don't want to just be rambling, even though I know that's what I'm doing. I want the video to make some goddamn sense, and I want to say all the right things, and I just want to make it right. Not perfect, but make it right. And so today was more of a push day for me in regards to this video. Like I had to mentally push myself to really do this. And god damn it, this better get some views. So what I wanted to discuss was know thyself. And so know thyself is like, I mean, what I was saying in that other video was like, it's something that you often hear in the spiritual community along with other terminologies and other words. But really what I was saying in that video was like, okay, know thyself. What does that really mean? And so I think, to me, if I can express it in my own way, I would say what that means is like being able to just know who you are, in the sense of truly knowing what you like and don't like, knowing what makes you happy, really being able to know and figure out your triggers. Like what bugs you, what annoys you, what irritates you, what frustrates you, what stresses you out. How do you deal with it? How have you been dealing with it? Or like challenges and hardships. Like how do you handle it, and how do you know yourself to handle it when a certain circumstance may happen to you. It's like you should already know yourself to know how you're going to deal with it, right? Your responses to the world. It's like it's not that complicated. And so what I was saying in that other video was like, how do you deal with that? What does it really know thyself even mean? Like, it sounds so fancy and interesting on paper, but oftentimes the things that you hear in the spiritual community is usually like a lot simpler than they really are. So it's like, what I was saying in that video, again, I keep saying that, but it's just because I covered so much in that video and it went to waste. And I might actually even just delete it. But what I was saying over there was, like, being spiritual and knowing thyself and doing the work does not require you to be in Nepal, be in East India or East Asia, or be in the Himalayas in the mountains, wearing robes, shaving your head like a monk, or being like in East India somewhere with the Hindus and the Aghoris and doing incense and chants and rituals and dancing around a fire. And of course I understand that the right person in the right mind should know that of course it's not going to be that way, but the point that I'm making is, like, your spiritual journey is yours only. It's yours and yours alone. And you can learn things in your everyday life here in the West, anywhere in the world. Anywhere and everywhere in the world, you're having a spiritual journey just like other people pretty much are, whether they realize it or not. Like, coming into consciousness, being in a physical body, is in itself, being here on earth is already your lesson. It's already your karmic duty to learn what you came here to learn. And I know, again, that sounds so mystical and deep and profound and all those things, but it's not. It's a lot simpler. And again, that's all that I was trying to make from that video, is like, your everyday life have lessons for you. The people you come across in your family and your friends and your work, your job, your career, the streets, you go out. In some sort of sense, they are like your teachers. So they have something to teach you, even your ups and downs and the things that you dislike, especially, the things that you dislike about something or someone, that is serving you a purpose, because that purpose is serving you a lesson to not want to be around that thing or that person. Like, I've had people in my life that I didn't like. I've had friends I didn't like. And whether or not they realize it, like, indirectly and unintentionally, they're teaching me a lesson. And that lesson is that I have to find people better than them. I have to find people better suited for me. I have to find better quality friends than them. I have to find people that raise me up, bring my energy up, and have the same mindset that I do. Like, people that are like-minded to me. Maybe if you have people in your life that are toxic or negative, they teach you a lesson too. Again, unintentionally and indirectly, but they are. They're teaching you to seek somewhere else for better company, for people who truly care for you. And those are realizations that you're going to have when you look within and you have that realization, like, you know what? I really don't like this person. I don't like this so-called friend of mine. I don't like how they're generally very selfish and they're self-centered and all these things and blah 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 blah. Like, you identify that person for qualities that you don't like about them, and in turn that becomes like your blueprint to manifest and figure out how you want to manifest in your next experience a better friend, somebody better for you. Challenges in your life, they teach you a lesson too, right? To evolve and to grow and to become a better person. And you hear that all the time. Change is uncomfortable. It is. But it doesn't have to be hard, because it could be rewarding. Just like today, I have to reward myself and acknowledge myself and give myself credit for small things that I do. Like making this video, even though I just didn't feel it today. But I thought, you know what, this is going to spiral me back into a cycle of inconsistency. It might be a long time again before I make another video. This is something I had to kind of push myself to do, and I'm doing it even now as we speak. Like, I'm just not feeling it today. But damn it, I had to do it. This is like my mental, spiritual, discipline, mental push day in the spiritual gym, so to speak. It's getting dark now, so I'm using these two as an example, because what I was saying was, like, no, technically you don't have to be like this guy to have the mala beads and the robes and being shaved and being bald and being in the mountains and being in lotus position. You can be like her. Your everyday, just average human being, just like you and I, for the most part. Your everyday person right here. Whether they're into the books of spirituality and doing the occult work and all that crap, like, it doesn't matter. I mean, she's smiling, she's happy. Come on, focus. I want the damn thing to focus. Hang on, let me see. Damn it. That's good enough. But yeah, see? The point that I'm making here is, I think in my spiritual journey, you know, of course I had a certain mindset, but you grow and you evolve over time. So, I'm thinking, damn, my everyday life is a lesson. My everyday circumstances are lessons. My challenges at my job and in my life and in my family are my lessons. My spiritual growth, or my opportunity to grow spiritually, is in my so-called mundane everyday life. Because if you look up what know thyself means, and I wrote it right here, I mean, I kind of summarized it, but on Google it's basically like, and apparently it's Greek, it originates from Greek apparently, I'm not sure, but it just means to understand your limits, characters, emotions, and mortality. Encourages you to look within, inward, to know your true strengths, weaknesses, and nature, to live a purposeful life. And that's what I just got through saying. Everything that I was just saying is exactly what I looked up. It was right here. Like, to know thyself really just means to know what your purpose is. And that's what I mainly mentioned, like, a lot of times in the other video, the beach video. I said, to know thyself is just simply being able to really know how far along you've gone in life. How much have you changed? And only you can know that. Knowing your true purpose, knowing where you really belong here in the world and what you're here to do, what really puts a smile in your face and what gives you joy and excitement and what gets you going every single day, what you truly have a passion for, that's your drive. And that drive of yours is going to be your purpose. And then that purpose, I would say, is your so-called know thyself. Know thyself, know thyself. It's noble self. Yeah, well, noble self. That's what it is. That's all it is. But along that, it's like your challenges, your triggers, how do you deal with it? How well do you know yourself to deal with those things? Catching yourself and making the opportunity to make changes, that's all up to you. You know, the way I react to certain people and certain things, I have to catch my ego. I was talking about that too in the video. It was like, dissolving the ego. Am I going to react a certain kind of way? Am I going to react annoyed again, just like I did the other day? Or can I take the opportunity and make this change or react more positively, in a better, more mature way? Even like gaming, the same old thing. I've been gaming for years. I get mad when I lose. I get frustrated. I would even like break my controller, and I've done that many times. But even now when I play, I still get annoyed. Natural, I guess, when it comes to like competitive gaming. So I get mad, I get annoyed, but I don't break stuff. I don't break the controller. I don't scream or yell like I used to. I reflect. I calm down. I look within. I catch that trigger. I catch that same thing from the past that I used to be. Because in the moment is what's important. Mindfulness, living in the now. And there's so much importance in that in a lot of spiritual books and stuff that you'd read about mindfulness, because what you have is the moment. How I used to react playing games, getting angry, was the past. Things should have changed already, but yet I still get mad. But I did change though, because in many ways, I don't react like I used to. I get annoyed, but I just handle it. I deal with it. I become at peace with losing. I don't have a temper tantrum anymore. I accept the defeat. I move on and I keep trying. And that's where I've noticed the change. So when those same circumstances happen again, I know in my heart and in my mind, no, I've made that change. I'm not the same as I used to be. I can deal with this. I can handle this. And so again, yeah, with mindfulness, it's important because within our ego, we're so caught in our ego a lot more than we realize, because it's like the past has already happened, but we're still reacting the same way we used to, the same old way we used to even now. And that's going to determine like the future. Like, what's that one saying where like thinking from the past is why I'm in the present, something like that. Thinking from the past is why I'm in the present moment that I'm in now. And thinking from that same pattern of thinking is going to determine my future. So it's like past and future don't really matter so much. What matters is like now, because I'm here now. I can make the changes now. I have the opportunity to be someone different and make something different of myself now. I can choose to act different for now, cultivate it within me, and make that change for now and forever. That can be my choice, and that can be up to you. So again, I use these two as a great example because I wanted to really make it as a comparison, because with Kooky right here with number 3, she kind of symbolizes for me like the everyday person, which are pretty much you and I. You don't have to be like this. If that works for you, then do it, right? Because again, it's your purpose, it's your path. If this works for you, then do that shit. But as far as I know, most of us are going to be like her. We're here just trying to survive, just trying to make it in life, but we're succumb to challenges. That's part of being in this earth plane, being in the physical body. We have needs, we have things to do. We're caught in the 5 senses, so that we have to deal with this 3D. And until then, living happy and knowing your purpose and living peacefully is really what we all seek. We all just want to live peacefully. That's the truth. Like, whether we like that or not, that's what we want, is just to live in peace. And what does it mean to live in peace? To live in peace just means to be free of struggle and pain and hardship. And we all deserve that. And we all seek that. So that's something we all kind of share. So your everyday person out there, no matter who they are and how they look like, that's why also in a lot of spiritual philosophies, like the saying of namaste means like I worship the God in you, meaning, or the divinity in you, meaning, you know, dissolving the ego and putting the ego aside. What I see in myself, the divinity, my soul, my spirituality, who I really am, that's what I see in you too, because that's something that you also have within you. And that's when what I sense in me is what I sense in you. So it's beyond the exterior, it's beyond the makeup and the clothes and the hair and the and the shoes and the sneakers and the tattoos and all whatever. The kind of car you drive, you don't drive a car, whatever. Like, it just means that my consciousness acknowledges the consciousness within you. That's what namaste means. I can see beyond the physical, and I can look past those external things, and I can see the divinity, the true you that's truly also in me. Like, you and I are one. That's what that saying means of one. We're one. And so that's pretty much what I was trying to talk about in that other video here. Is know thyself. Know thyself is just knowing your purpose. And that takes a lot of self-reflection, you know. But you have to kind of hold on to that peace and that clarity and keep yourself grounded and not be disturbed by the tumbling and the shaking and the thunderstorms of the world. So, like, like in my older videos, I mean, like, if I look at myself through my life in the past, such as my selfies and videos, you know, obviously I know I've made a change because I can reflect on how I used to look, and I just know I've changed. Of course, I'm going to recognize that it's still me in those pictures and those photos, but I'm going to sense something different. And that thing that's different is me, or my soul, whatever you want to call it. There's something within me that I've cultivated that has changed. And that's how I know I'm making progress. The lessons and things I've learned along the way have changed me, which is also what's called the alchemy. So even like visiting where I used to live with my family, you know, in many other parts of town and other places, you reminisce on memories because I have those memories in me. But it also makes me think of the now, the moment, like, you know, that's where we used to live. That's how I used to be. That's how I used to do what I do. That's how I used to act. That's how I used to react. That's how I used to feel. But now, in this moment right now, in the present, you know, I'm not like that anymore. I don't think the way that I used to or feel what I do. I've changed. I've cultivated something different within me. And so that's my point here, guys. Like, your everyday person could be your teacher because some people are just happy. Like, they're just genuinely happy. And that's something. I'm gonna turn the light on. That's something that I've come to realize, you know, is like, I think what matters in life is just being happy. That's it. Like, nothing else really matters. It's not really the quote-unquote work and having the right equipment and the beads and the meditation and the breathing and yoga and the diet and being vegan. And hey, you know, again, if that all that shit works for you, great. But what I'm saying is those things aren't the requirements to be happy. The right spiritual books, the meditation, the ritual, the classes, being connected to certain gods and deities and demons and angels, and having the right robe and candles and the full moon, the ritual that I gotta do for the full moon, for this month, and I gotta have the crystals aligned with my chakras. It's like, dude, just pursuing a life of simplicity and happiness is all you can ask for, really. And if you can achieve that and have unconditional love for yourself and others, I think you've done the work already. That's all that at the end of the day, we all just want to be happy and to be at peace. That's also the point of like all these videos about, doing the shadow work and everything I just said just now about chakra alignment and all these things. We're all just making an effort to be happy, to be at peace. And again, what did I say about peace? To be free of what? The suffering, the pain, and that's all that we all want. And so how can you judge other people for pursuing what makes them happy? And hey, mind you, the jokes aside and all that crap about stupid things like things that aren't healthy, like drugs or adult content and all that stuff, like that's not what I'm talking about. Of course, there's things that are harmful to you that you shouldn't do. So the point that I'm making is like the everyday person out there that I see every single day when I go out, how are they any different from the Buddha? Like how? Like really, seriously, like how is the average person out there living their best life any different from the monks that you see in the monasteries in Tibet or in Nepal or in East India? Like, what's the difference? They're all just trying to achieve something, which is some form of peace. And again, peace is what? Freedom from pain and suffering and happiness. So that's what I've come to realize in my journey is like, I don't need to wear all these things and do all this extra shit to be quote unquote spiritual. Maybe this is the big lesson that I've been needing to learn this whole time. Because it's not it's not a race. You should just go at your own pace. And yes, that rhymes. So, like, go at your own pace. It's not a race. But I guess for me, it took me years to realize more simple things about life and in my life. Like, it's just in simplicity. That's all that I'm saying. Your everyday person can be your teacher. Your everyday person is just like you. Your everyday person already is living a spiritual life, maybe even better than yours. Like you're over here reading all these books and doing all these rituals and these so-called chakra meditations and all that crap, and you're still unsatisfied. You're still unhappy. And you wonder why. And yet the average person who could be your neighbor next door, they're living a perfectly happy and wholesome life, and they're not doing any of the stuff that you're doing as far as the spiritual practice. But yet they have their own morals that they hold on to. They have their own morality. They have their own sense of ethics and character that makes them a great person. So it's like, who are you to judge them? They're living life good, probably better than you. And they're doing the simple old shit that everyone else does. Those are things that I've come to realize. It's like, who am I to really judge anybody else? Because, again, when it comes to this work, and I've done this for years, mind you, for a long time, for maybe I would say even most of my life, is that in the spiritual community, especially like the YouTube videos that you might find, you just think you're spiritual, but you're not. Like you got these gurus and these so-called teachers and stuff like that, but it's like they can be so hateful and judgmental of other people who aren't on the quote-unquote same path as them. And that's just them being caught up in their own ego, which is ironic. Like every video you discuss as a spiritual coach that you call yourself to be, you talk about dissolving the ego and being at one with all the namaste, all that kumbaya crap, but it's like you don't even practice it in your own words. You judge other people every single day. So again, that's what I've come to realize and learn over the years is like the only teacher you have is yourself, ultimately. Like, it's up to you to learn the knowledge and to cultivate the wisdom within you. That's up to you. That's no one else's. They can give you the books and the lessons and show you the doors, but you gotta walk them. You gotta walk through them. And that all becomes determined by you and your actions. So it's not up to anyone else. You know, doing this work for so many years, I realized, why do I still feel some sort of inadequacy or unhappiness? I thought I should be so-called superior or happier or better than other people, but I'm not. People left and right are just living normal lives without all the work that I've been doing, and yet they're happier. That's not to say that what I'm doing and the knowledge that I have and the books that I have is for nothing, because it's not. That's still great information. It's a matter of you cultivating those things. And that's what makes you a great person. Like, what can you do to make the best out of yourself with the tools that you have, you know? Because with that, you can transform that within and you can share it. And that's another saying or quote that I also remember just now from like one of the books that I read a long time ago. It's like, I think it's like a Buddhist saying from like one of the Buddhist books that I read a long time ago. It's like the candle has a flame, and you can like, and that flame can be like joy, and you can share it with the other candles and light them up too and share that same light, and then your light and the flame that you had originally will never go away. It's the same thing with like happiness and joy and excitement. You can share that with others and it'll spread and it'll be contagious, and that happiness and that joy and that positive intent will go around, and as it goes around you'll notice that you'll never lack any of it. It'll still be within you. You're never going to lose the joy that you share with others. It'll still be within you. Same thing with that candle and that flame. You light the other candles, you still have the flame that you started with. Man, I am so off today. My energy level today is just not where it was at from the other day when I was at the beach. It's just a poor shame that it was so windy. And it was just constant. And I'm like, God damn, this was almost a goddamn near 30-minute freaking video, and I got cut off by the freaking wind. I'm like, let me push myself to make this goddamn video and make the best of it that I can. But I might even just keep up that video just because of how nice the beach was or something like that. Or I don't know. I just wanted to sit here and ramble about know thyself and purpose. And again, I'm going to repeat, knowing thyself is just knowing your purpose. Knowing what you really truly want to be doing here in your lifetime. Like what puts a smile to your face and what brings you joy. That's your purpose. It's not anything too complex than that. It's nothing more, it's nothing less. What truly brings you happiness is something only you can know. Once you can know that and figure that out and discover it, you should just go all for it. Like I mentioned Bashar also before, and I said, finding the path of least resistance and finding what brings you unconditional joy is something that you should be seeking. That's your purpose. And I think that's what know thyself pretty much means. Knowing who you are in the sense of what you're here to do. All the other fears and anxieties you might have are things you'd have to work through, but that doesn't mean you should think of yourself any less. You know, you're capable of great things. You just have to look within and see it. Give yourself the time to draw yourself out the crowd and have the time for yourself to look within and do the work. That's all I pretty much get to say for that. You know, that's it. So with that being said, yeah, when I feel a little bit better, I'll probably try to speak on more about the ego, because that really does have a strong hold on us a lot more than we realize. And it takes a lot of catching. It takes a lot of catching. You have to catch that every time you get triggered by something. It's something I also work on, but I get better at that. Every time a certain voice, situation, or circumstance comes to my mind, or I deal with it in person, I will react. But before I fully react and say something or do something that I might regret and have a negative thought about it, I acknowledge that thought, but I deal with it in the moment and I try to make a different response to it. I mean, I guess best example is the gaming thing. Like losing, yeah, I get annoyed, but instead of getting annoyed, I just handle it. I handle it with a more peaceful state of mind, and I'm at peace with it, and I just let it go. I let it be and move on. And that's what I also try to do every day in my life, is to know thyself, know what annoys me and triggers me, and I just try to make one step forward, a more positive step forward, I mean, to just make it right. So yeah, anyway, that being said, peace out. Catch you guys later. Thanks. See ya. Bye bye.